you for having me, girl. It's been
Yes.
it's been I don't know how many years. If we count the years, we're gonna tell our ages. But
No,
we
we
don't.
look at
That's all right. We don't care either. No.
elementary. What? Fourth grade,
Fifth
fifth grade,
grade,
fifth
fifth
grade.
grade in Harlem. I
I
just
miss
can't
Harlem.
believe it when I think about how we met and how we were like brought back together. It was through motherhood. I think that we really.
Hello.
That's just we started
That's
off
a
as little girls and we were in the crew together. It wasn't like we were friends. No, we were in the crew.
in the crew, in the crew. And I think it's so beautiful to like see the journey, right? Of like going from girls to women to mothers, right? And all those different identities that we carry within ourselves. Like I can still remember physically in my body what it was like to be in the fifth grade and singing in the choir.
Sing in the choir, using our little voices, and that the sisterhood was tight. You hear a little 2-year old, I can't control him.
Listen,
Um,
don't try.
I've tried. I just can't. I've given up. And then us, I think around college time is when we found each other again through one of the girls in our groups. But like just looking at all of us from that journey of innocence, going into all of the journeys of life, because even society, we're experiencing many of the same things for our generation, as millennial moms. So it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Yes. Hi.
I'm supposed to say hi and then that's it. Oh my gosh. Hi, Benji. Say hello. See you later. Okay.
It's too cute. So
Thanks,
today
babe.
I asked you to join this conversation with me during Black Maternal Mental Health Week because you and I shared this thing where we're always talking about like life outside of motherhood, right?
Yeah.
And like what are the title multifaceted women, right? Beyond the title of mother. And yes, we're so glad, we're so proud to be able to have that
Great.
honor to be able to be mothers, but
Yeah.
who are we beyond survival, right? Like, who
Yeah.
are we? Yes, it's kind of what I wanted to talk about.
I love the topic because I don't know if anyone ever exclusively taught me that, like I feel the journey started when I realized, like, wait, something's different about me physically. I think I kind of, after the first shot, I still was like in La La Land and didn't really realize that the moment that you become a mom, you split yourself, spiritually, physically, in all the ways it's transferable. It's also, it translates to what's actually happening in our soul. And I think that for something so sacred to happen, it doesn't happen in such a fast way. But the moment that we begin to accept the calling as a mom, we start to see that our lives are not just our own. And I think that I've noticed that when, for my second child, first child, I was just like, oh, mom, mother, I'm doing everything organic and all the things, and I'm staying home and I'm making, and no one's ever going to tell me to do anything because I'm the last mom in the world.
Yes.
And so I was in that. But I think when I started to go through the journey of self love, especially during COVID, because I had thunder during COVID, and I couldn't really, I wasn't around anyone. I didn't realize that being in such a closed space, that's when mental health started to come up. And I started to realize, like, wait, I'm not that same person I was before. Like, there's
Mm,
another extension of who I am that I have to explore or get to explore.
yeah, yeah.
And what
When do
about
you
you?
when do I know, like when do you feel like, I know you said during COVID, but like was there a moment in time or was it gradual when you realized that like motherhood is changing your life and like maybe I'm lost in this or maybe I'm not really sure about who I am outside of that title of motherhood?
Yes. I think for the most part, I had a lot of fun because my village was like, I'm the youngest, and that all we had new babies in New York because my family's originally from the South and the Caribbean. So everyone was like really excited. But I think that after having two children, everyone will tell you like one is one is okay, but going from one to two really changed me. And then physically, I think that's when I really started to hit that I was not the same person because my
Right.
body started to change. And I don't know if I even realized that it was changing until until I started throwing out clothes that I couldn't fit anymore, and I had to buy bigger sizes. And when I started to feel that stretch, I realized, because I was really in tune with my body and I had a lot of insecurities connected to my body, my weight, and being an industry kid or being in entertainment, like just the way you look, the way you sound, and the way that you carry yourself is just very important. So I started to realize in my bliss that, like, wait, all of this bliss, there's another side to it. There's a reality. And I think COVID gave me that time to sit back and be like, okay, like life is changing in that sense. And you have to tend to, it was a part that I feel like I was neglecting because of like being in the industry in a certain way and like being into music. I wanted to hold on to something so badly, but I didn't realize my life was calling me in a way that needed to be explored even more. And COVID, you had nothing but time and opportunity to do that.
Yes.
So the weight loss was, I mean, the weight gain was big for me because I'm like, okay, even with my son, I was like, okay, but I started to gain more weight, and you know, that was huge.
Yeah. I hear you. I, with my first child who was about to be 16, oh geez. Yes.
Not so bad of an idea. Listen, you did it, okay, and
But
you're
it's like
you're like done.
I'm not, because I mean Brooke is 13, but I feel this new. This is off topic, but I feel this new sense of like scaredness, right? Like we
Okay,
talk about like motherhood beyond like mental health beyond like the postpartum period. I think
yeah.
that my experience has expanded, right? Like my worry and my anxiety now comes from a different perspective. Like
Mm,
I am preparing this human, this
yeah,
vessel
yeah.
that I have birthed, right, into a human being outside of this world. And he's just
Outside of
going
the
to be
world.
navigating and like, I got to remember my grounding exercises.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
Every time I hear, like, my sister, she has teenage boys,
right.
and every time I hear about like them going out and all of that, I just, only thing I say is the most irresponsible thing is like, I'm just so happy it's not me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have nothing else to say because I know that my time will come.
Right.
And wow,
Yeah.
have you noticed? Do you feel like it is? You said it's a different place, but like, I guess the place of concern comes from like, now I have to believe that everything I've given you through these years, you're able to do a bit of it on your own. You
Yeah.
know, that part is creepy to me. I'm
I
scared.
think that it's like I worry more like, have I done enough?
Mm.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, have I done enough? And there's like, college applications, extracurriculars, like there's so much pressure, for how your child is supposed to be and grow,
Yeah.
which is like present from the moment you are with child. Like people are judging and telling you all what to do. But I think that like now I'm like, the world is scary. It is literally on fire.
Literally.
And I am pushing a child, I'm bringing a child into this world and letting them go into the world. And I just hope that I've done enough. And so my anxiety as raising a Black boy in
Yeah.
America, just thinking about him going into stores, what he's wearing, what streets he's walking down, like that level of anxiety for me, it,
Yeah.
it, it lives within my body, right? And
Mm.
so like I'm oftentimes like I need to like center myself and
Yes.
remember that, like they're going to be okay. And I've done all that I
Yes.
can.
Well, I know who I'm gonna call when 13 comes, cause
Listen.
I can't imagine. Like, I feel that way now when they go to school sometimes,
Hmm.
and I'm like thinking about them through the day. I'm like, wow, I wonder if Titan made up with his friend. Did they like all the
Yes.
smoke?
Right, right,
you
right.
know.
Yeah.
But
Motherhood.
I
Right.
think it's
Like,
so cool though that we get to have those experiences, and it causes us to honor our moms and grandmothers a lot more,
ooh,
because yeah, I find myself every day something that I remember as a child, like the feeling, the nostalgia when I look at my kids from something
hmm,
in the summertime. Like, I love the summer.
yeah.
So it reminds me of when I was a child, and like they went away for 3 weeks with their grandparents down south. And it reminded me of the times I would go to South Carolina. My mom would send me the whole summer. It was my favorite place in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, they came back, taller and a little chubbier. And I literally shed a tear because I'm like, oh my God, this is what my mother would say every time I returned back to New York, you know?
Yeah. Well, I love listen, that actually just sparked a thought in my mind about like village, right? Like when we
Yeah.
talk about village, you're like, I'm going to call you when my kids are 13. I'm going to send my kids down south. Like that is what community is, because we literally aren't, we're not supposed to mother alone, right? We need like a village to be in our back corner, to be in our front, to be on our side, to help us raise
Period.
these kids. Like,
Hmm, hmm,
so
hmm,
yeah,
hmm.
yeah.
Agreed. Hello. But these
Right.
grandparents, they're a
They be
little.
trying to be outside.
Why y'all outside right now? It says grandparent. Like, why? My parents went to Colombia. I'm like, they're like, hey, just let you know these are our dates. What? Did we
We need
discuss
dates.
this?
Let me put the child on the calendar. If my mom tells me another time she's going on a cruise, I'm gonna be like, what's
No,
going on?
seriously. We can't. Thank you. We cannot mother alone. It's
Yes.
so true, and it's easy. In a sense to get in touch with people, but it's not as easy because of the digital part. It
Hmm.
makes it easier for us to create community and reach out and spread awareness, but sometimes it's like having that in-person encounter
Hmm.
is really what they had back in the day. So now we are
Right.
creating what that looks like for our generation. Like, okay, we're not going to be next door neighbors passing sugar every day,
Right.
but we can create something that looks like, that works in our schedule, that works with how we've evolved in life,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
love. Because
Yeah. I
sometimes
love
I
that
don't want to
too.
leave my house and I love to have this conversation with you. But I'm grateful, got my little outfit on. Like, it's like I did,
Yes.
I did go out and
Right. Right. It's a little moment. It's a
it's a moment.
moment.
You gotta have the moments.
Yes. I feel like when you miss the moments, that's when you can lose yourself in motherhood, right? Like, which is like,
Ooh,
ooh, hey, thunder.
amen.
When you can lose yourself in motherhood when you're not taking out the little moments to do a little glam, to fix your hair, to,
Yes.
and the culture tells us, oh, self-care, self-care, but I hate when we kind of make it as a monolith, like, bubble baths and all that stuff, and that's great, but like also like centering just like the small moments and the glimmers, like the things in your day that like really light you up, whether that's putting on your lipstick and like taking a, whatever it is.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is. I think the most simple question, like how, what makes you happy? That's the hardest question in the world.
Hmm.
I felt like that's been the hardest question
I still
in the
don't know.
last few years. Like, I feel like studies are showing that the brain doesn't fully mature until about 30 and change,
Yes. Oh my
which is
gosh.
insane to me because that
Mhm.
means that we have been gaslit all these years to have everything together. We have now scientific evidence that prove,
But it's okay though. I'm still struggling.
but it makes sense now
Right.
because
Yeah.
we weren't mature all the way. We were
Yes.
just, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, having children, on top of that, relationships, on top of that, trying to have some semblance of a social life, like you got to pick one. So we were like, well, they said after you push them out, you got to take them home. So you got to take care
Right.
of your kids. And
Yep.
what's the best way to do that?
Yeah.
Indeed. Hello, hello,
Hello. Hi.
everybody.
So I was just thinking about earlier when I asked you the question about like, was there a time or like when did you notice? And one of the things that like called out to me about my own experience is that I think motherhood like has expanded me, right? Like it has, like, I like to use the word expansiveness, right? Like
Mm.
motherhood is like a piece of my identity. It is not my whole identity.
Woo.
And I think that it's taking me a really long time and I'm
Yes.
still figuring it out, right?
So,
Like, who am I outside of that, right? Like, I've been a mom before I was a woman. I
right.
always, that is my statement because I had kids at my first son at 19. So for me,
Wow.
I was growing and becoming a woman at the same time as when I
Yeah.
had the title of mom, right?
Yes.
So for me, I just feel like I've been like learning how to love myself as
Yeah.
me, going on dates by myself. I went on a trip to Ghana this year. I didn't take
I
any
saw
right?
that.
So for me, I was just like, what is it that, like you said, like makes me happy? What fulfills me? And I think that I'm still on that journey of like figuring that
Mhm.
out. But I think the journey is the beautiful part of it, right? Like
Yeah.
we get to decide who we want to be. We get to make the experiences, and that to me is like surviving beyond motherhood. It's like the journey. Mama gotta have a
Yeah.
life too. Come on, Stella got her goodie
Mama,
bag.
mama
Yes,
gotta have a life
that's baby boy.
too. No, seriously. Quote, we about to get that on our wall somewhere.
Right. We need
Mama gotta
it.
have a life too. And
Come
that's
on.
so true. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't realize now I think about I find myself thinking about my mom and like what it was like for her raising me at the
Hmm.
time. I think about it a lot. And like they say millennials, we kind of judge our parents a lot because they're like, oh, y'all talk about us, but y'all raised us to be this way.
Hmm.
And I always say the millennials have the hardest job because we are literally in between a generation that was not digital, to a
Right.
generation that's completely digital.
Yes,
And
it's
it's our
different.
job to kind of bridge in some way and to keep the tradition of what was amazing from the past, into what's happening in the future. So I think of my mom a lot, and I think all of the therapy that I've been through with like mother wounds, father wounds in any way, I have so much compassion for a lot of those things because I'm like, oh my gosh, like now it's different. We're in a world where we can, if you have children, you have protection and coverage. There's some of those protections they didn't have, so they had to
Right.
be in survival mode and work. And if they had a cough or they need, you know,
Yeah.
it's just now I understand a lot more, and that doesn't include you having to care for yourself. And most times they didn't,
Right.
you know.
Right. And right. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
No, I'm just saying,
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
my moms, I think they think we're spoiled a little bit because we're like me time, and they're like,
Hello. Right. They're like, girl, I ain't had no me time. I had 6 jobs,
my
walking to
mom says
school.
that, but she knows, like, no, mom. But now I encourage my mom. Like, I'm like, mom, I love you, we love you, but you gotta go ahead and do your thing. Like,
Take
go
care
through
of
something.
yourself. Take care of yourself. No, and that's so true. Like I think that what you're describing is like I also went through this experience through therapy of like having empathy for my mom, whereas like she is a girl who is also living life for the very first time, and yeah,
Yes.
and it's okay for us to remember that, right?
Right.
And to like if we want to give ourselves compassion, we can offer that to our mothers too in that way.
Mm,
And so I think that what you brought up is such a like a valid point, that I think that as we grow in motherhood, we start to have these pieces of awareness, right,
yeah.
of our journeys and how we want to mother, and
Yeah.
the pieces of our generational impact that we want to bring forward, and the things we want to let go of. I mean, there's some stuff
Yes.
we want to leave back there, but it's also so much beauty and
Yeah.
wisdom and love in what is also being passed down.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what made me.
Yes, girl. I love that. I absolutely do. And I think the ability for us to create our beings outside of motherhood allows us to see ourselves in our like truest state as well,
Right.
apart from like our roles and responsibilities. Who are you when no one is around is the question I like to ask. Like,
Ooh.
who are you without your titles? Who are you without the expectations of the world? And that is such a vulnerable question. It like the
Mhm.
visualization when the visualization of that is so vulnerable
Yeah.
because a lot of who we are, we connect to our responsibilities and
Yes.
our roles. And so
Hmm.
it's like, well, who am I? And that
Yes.
literally has been a journey for me. Like, who am I apart from this? When someone asks me, I kind when someone asks, who am I? Or if I think about an interview question, I like to answer with both. One, I like to start off with being a mom, like I'm a mom of theater, and then I do one where I'm thinking of all of the entities of who I am apart from that. Like I like doing both because I try to remember that in my
Hmm.
response. Like these are beautiful roles,
Right.
but who are you? And it's important for us to know for ourselves
Yeah.
as we navigate because that leads us to better understanding when we're looking for what makes us happy or what brings us joy.
Yeah. Who am I? That is the question of the night. And earlier you talked about like what makes you happy. The crazy thing, I think the first person to ask me that was actually my son. And we
Ooh,
were in the car and he was like, what do you do like when you just want to have fun? And I had no answer.
You
Like
see?
I didn't have an answer. I was like, I like to go for a run, and I'm like, but I'm doing. I like working. That's working out, like that. You know what I mean? But like
Right.
fun, and I was like,
Fun.
I don't
Fun.
know. Like I was just like, I don't know. And then and so that brought me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to skate. I'm gonna learn how to skate. I'm like, I
Yes.
need something fun to do.
Bingo.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
gonna go to
part.
bingo night, not bingo.
Right. But if it's bingo night, listen, if it's Pekino, whatever night it is,
Whatever it
it's
is.
so true.
Yeah.
It's it's like I think it's a blessing, it's a revelation when that question gets to come across our table as
Hmm.
moms.
Hmm.
Because there's someone out there, nobody's asking them that one question, like, what makes you happy? Because if
Yeah.
no one asks you that, you're not really thinking about it while you're trying to like live life and make chicken like I was doing before. That's why I still got sofrito in my hands. Like, like,
You're just surviving
okay,
when you're not recognizing that, when you're not thinking about that, you're just surviving, right?
just surviving.
And we're talking about how do we go beyond that, right? And so when you think about your journey or any of the women you work with in vocabulary, like what do you think are some of the ways that you've been able to thrive in your motherhood, or you think women should be able to incorporate and helping them begin to thrive in motherhood?
I think one of the first thing is definitely community, finding people who are like minded, which is the hardest part because it's almost like finding a therapist, you
Hmm.
know? Like it's a bunch of them, people all over the world, but who is the one for me? And I think part of it is also not being so picky
Yeah.
because sometimes like I felt I had so many, different criteria of what I needed in a friend.
Hmm.
But you don't know until you explore, and it doesn't have to be a million people at once. It can be, there's a community. Like if I follow an influencer or someone, I'm looking. There are other women that are on there, and if it's something on social media, or example, when we came to Soul Well's event, I didn't go by myself. I went
Right.
with another mom because I worked through anxiety since COVID. I worked through being outside by myself, and especially in New York City, like that
Yeah.
is a growth area for me. So I try not to do so much at one time so that I can prove it or have my ego attached to it. Like I literally try to detach my ego and not like be cute about it. Like
Yeah.
I'm literally trying to get somewhere because it's a part of like my growth. I cannot be better. I
Yeah.
can't be stronger. I can't be healthier if I don't explore this thing. And so like that's why I was happy it rained. At first I'm like, oh my God, it rained. I don't want to travel in the rain. I don't even like my husband drives us most places, so I don't always drive.
I hear that.
Though some of
Also,
those are traumatic moments for me with driving. So me being able to drive from Brooklyn to Harlem, like I'm gonna bring somebody with me, and that's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a win. The win was that I got there. I took my time. I did my deep breaths, and I had a great time. So I think sometimes I won't say lowering the standard, but staying open to what
Hmm.
that looks like, especially when building new community, trying
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number one. Is like building around that,
Hmm.
and then also I look up classes all over. Like if I just have an idea, I'm laughing because I just tried some new bread because my husband made his own bread here, right? And so he picked up a thing and then started exploring it. And now that's like a thing he loves to do. For me, it's flowers. I throwing when I did Soul and Bloom, that was that was the ideation number 10, but
Right.
I've been like a florist for well, I've been a florist for months at this point.
Right. Right.
I've been going to the district, for months. So it's been a process of like how does this thing make me feel?
Hmm.
Like am I able to like breathe and focus on something else? I think when whatever that activity or encounter allows you to detach from the survival part of you, that's a great sign that
Hmm.
that might be the thing that causes you to smile through the day.
Hmm.
So when
Hmm.
I'm touching flowers, I literally am focused in a way because I love the art of it, but I also feel soft.
Yeah.
That's also psychosomatic, but who cares? It works for me, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I start picking up those, and then I'm like, well, I want other women to feel like this, and
Hmm.
then that's how we create that. And sometimes it
Yeah.
is for us to create the thing that we need, in a sense,
Yes.
you know.
I love, love, love what you said. Like, I think community, yes, top of the line. I agree 100% in staying
Yes.
open. But the last part, I love psychosomatics. So I'm going to geek out about that because I think that, like, when we are aware, we allow
Mm.
ourselves to be open, right? And so
Yes.
you're talking about, like, just being able to, like, touch the flowers and experience them and
Yes.
put your hand in that, right? Like, yes, to
Smell
doing what
them.
makes you feel soft. Like, I think about, like, when we're talking about like trauma informed care, for example, a lot of it is like learning to feel safe in your body.
Age.
Yes, learning to feel safe. And so I think that, like you said, when you find things or you touch things, or like lately I've been like doing like I've been seeing bees, and I've been like zooming
Mm.
in and taking like somatic videos of like bees pollinating the flowers. And I'm
Oh,
like, that is a whole world, right? Like, but it's also keeping me in the present moment, right? And and
wow.
and through that I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm a bee watcher. Maybe I'll like photography, whatever, but I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying being with
Wow.
myself. My nervous system is feeling at rest, right? You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? And I think
Yes.
that that is thriving in motherhood, making sure
Uh,
that we take care of ourselves throughout the process or the
whoa,
journey.
that's so deep.
Motherhood is not a process, the journey, I guess.
The journey, but still, shoot. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't understand the word. I always say this. I didn't understand the word process until I became a mom.
Mm,
Like, you just throw away process, process, process. But I think when you start to realize, I thank God he didn't give us a 14-year-old right away. Like, we both don't
right.
know what we're doing. This your first day here. It's my first day
Hello.
here. We work together. We work well. This is a
Right.
great match.
That's
But I
hilarious.
absolutely love that's when I learned process, because I started to just look at the little toes and the body like, wait, oh, the belly is only, just these small moments show us process,
Right.
you know.
Yeah,
I
just
love
these
it.
small moments, they show us process. They show us process. All
I
right,
really
so
love
I have
that.
a question. Like, this is kind of like centering yourself on like where you are now. If you could speak to the version of yourself who believed, right, that she had to put every part of herself in motherhood, go back to Titan, right?
Yeah.
Like go all the way back, right? And like bring yourself into that memory. Like, what would you say to her? What would you tell her
Oh my
today?
gosh. I think she was waiting for something to happen. And I think I would tell her, do it now. This is the best time. You being home and not working does not disqualify you from being who you're called to be. And at that time, I knew that I wanted to like get into content creation, like I was into, but I think it was so much wanting to be a perfectionist and all of that. And, people think it's cute, like, oh yeah, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I'm like, ugh, don't like it because it prevents us from taking a step forward. And I would just tell her, like, girl, do it now. Do it
Right.
now. Release the content, release the videos, the pictures. There's a bunch of people that are similar to you, that understand what you're going through. You don't have to like be alone. Yeah. And because I'm very big on entrepreneurship, moms entrepreneurship, Black women entrepreneurship. And at the time that was a desire for me. If I knew her then, I would say, girl, start one step at a time. It doesn't have to be perfect. Put it out there. 5 years from now,
Hmm.
if you keep it up, you're going to see the difference.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really believe that, because as a mom, we get a little in I want everything to be perfect because it's our creation, but creation has its ebbs and flows too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
100%.
you
It's
know,
like a song, right? You got to have harmony in the song, right? You can't have one note because then the song's trash. We need to have,
okay,
you know what I mean?
we
Like,
got
we got to have levels. We got to have levels.
levels. We need range.
Um, so when you were talking, I was thinking about like for me, like, because I became a mom so young, like a part of me like shrunk myself and like wanted to like disappear in motherhood. And so I would
Yes.
tell myself that you don't need to shrink yourself or disappear to be the best version of yourself as a mom. Like I remember being like, I'm not going to study this in school because I won't be able to be home with my mom. And it literally stopped me from pursuing a childhood dream.
Yeah.
And I told my daughter that the other day and she was like, what's your excuse now? And I was like,
Ooh.
first of all, don't clock me,
Bring it,
right?
don't
Like, but
clock me right now,
don't clock
okay?
me right now, because I'm,
Now give me a little bit. Come on now.
just, but also like, I children have this way of being mirrors. Somebody said it.
Ooh.
They
And the
do what we
children
do,
shall lead them.
and they children shall lead them, right? And so she's reflecting this mirror onto me, where it's like they need a whole mom, not a small version of myself, right?
Ooh.
Right, and like the journey for me, the ebbs and flows have been figuring it out.
Come
How do I become
on.
a whole version of myself? And I think that the beauty in it is that we get to create that over our lifetime. Motherhood
Yes.
is not, it's not going to end for us at any point, right? And I think we're always mothering,
Right.
and we will continue to mother once our children leave, and until we
Yes.
leave this
Yes.
earth. And so
Yes.
for me, it's like I get to design that. I get to create that. I get to
Yeah.
be the creator of that story and
Period.
rewrite the chapter over and over again.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It is so true. I think our children, somebody said here, they learn to figure it out by watching us do it, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I'm like, okay, the best way to teach perseverance, confidence is to be that,
Yes.
like, and it also pushes us to to keep to keep progressing on, because my son, I always tell him, I don't want you to be what I want you to be. I want you to be better than me. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to, like, it's God than you. And I try to instill that in my kids. Like, I know a part of being your mom, a part of your obligation of what you feel the world wants you to do is because of me being your mom. But I just need you to know, don't try to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
10 years from now, you're not going to have to figure out, oh, I got to love myself. Like, no, do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now, and I will cheer you on. And my
Mm-hmm.
son, he wants to start his YouTube channel. And I find that to be better than me anyway, because I didn't realize I'm doing it now. I'm like, oh, I think I want
Mm-hmm.
to go on YouTube. And
Right.
he wants to do it. And he's thinking, okay, so what's our next step? So for me, that kind of pushes me up. So, like, I have to figure out what is a way that's going to set him up for success, to be consistent in this thing, and what systems do I put in place. So it's like it causes me to be better and to
Mm-hmm.
be a better planner, to be a better organizer, which has been my name of the game in this stage of my life.
Right.
To just to be more organized, because I realize that protects my mental health. It
Yeah.
protects my ability to be soft and rest, because now I'm creating a system that works whether I feel like it or not. That's where my big lux flex is. Like, I have a system for things
Yeah.
that causes us all to be successful no matter what, on the days that we don't feel like it and the days that we do. That's what I'm really trying to create. So them seeing us do that, I keep them involved. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we have an issue in our family right now, we need to come up with something, what should we do?
Right.
And so it's been a part of that, helping them to grow and then helping us to grow you know
Yeah. My last question for sure this time is, what parts of yourself are you still reclaiming?
the parts of still reclaiming the doing what I love to do, doing what I want to do, doing things without the kids. No,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that.
because because of their ages, I kind of had to start over in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So Temple being 2, I'm coming out of postpartum. Not when I really look at it, um, and so it's helped me a lot to just slow down, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and really be in a space where I'm able to enjoy the softness that I'm learning to cultivate. And even when I don't get it, the moment that sometimes I'll get dressed and I'm going somewhere, I'm doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, I make it to the door, and then I'm like, my husband's like, where you going? I'm going to the store to get, I have
Right.
nothing to do, nothing to get, but
Yeah.
I am in a space where I'm going to continue to figure it out. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's my growth area, figuring out what continuing to evolve and what I love, what I
Mm-hmm.
like, and acting on it and allowing it to like flourish me.
Yeah.
Not flourish everybody, but flourish me and it being like,
Yeah.
okay, that's
Yeah.
that's the part. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I
But we
love
getting there.
that. I think that's so great. I think that's so good. I think that what I heard in that I can relate to is like silencing the noise and also like moving without guilt, right? You get to the door and you're
Moving
like,
with
somebody
and
needs me.
and what I told one of my clients, I said, honestly, the guilt may not go away in that moment. You got to be. It's the point of accepting, like that feeling is
Mm,
here. You know
yeah,
that, or rather, that emotion, depending on what place it's coming from, is
right,
here. But I'm still gonna do it.
right. What are you
I
gonna
got
do
hands. Like,
about it? You gotta go at it.
I'm still gonna go at it. That's the
Yeah.
part. It's like this thing is scaring me, and it's all the noise, like you're saying. And what?
And what? And what? I think that's a perfect like ending point. I think that's a perfect like sticking point. I thank you for like having this conversation with me. Like I said, like we were children and now we are in our
Look at
30s
us
raising thriving families.
working with each other.
Working with each other.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. But also like we have motherhood. We don't have to just survive, like we can thrive in it. And at the same time we can take care of our mental health and ourselves. And so that's why I think this important conversation should be had, should be continuing to be had. So
Mhm.
thank you for sharing parts of your story with me.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Thank you
you.
for having me, and thank you for bringing me on here, collaborating with you and so well, and always thinking of me. I'm so excited for
Yeah.
what you all are doing and creating a space for women and mothers to connect and to learn and to have the conversation that we that our moms probably didn't have or grandparents didn't have or have the privilege of having. And so I want to congratulate you on what
Yes.
you're doing after all these years. You continue to, from She's a Wreck, that I'm telling you, I'm like, oh, I love
She's a wreck. Oh my god, my
it.
baby.
I was here from the beginning. I was here from the beginning.
Period.
But I'm
Um,
so grateful and thank you so much for having me on here. Shout out to all the mamas, mothers in
yes.
here who are finding themselves outside of motherhood.
Yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining in. There's a link at the bottom to join our community wait list. If you want to connect with Belraye, she's all about self care and womanhood and career and entrepreneurship. She's at Vocabulary and at Belraye. And I'll see you all tomorrow for part 2 of our conversation, where we are going to be chatting it up with Therapy for Black Moms about another topic in our motherhood journey. So, see y'all.